So, good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Anjali Nair, on behalf of Kirin Advisors. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to the Investor Conclave Investor Connect Summit 2026, powered by Avinash Mentor and co-powered by Kirin Advisors. Today marks the second day of our two-day summit featuring a powerful lineup of focused management meetings. This is the fourth interaction of the day with Captain Polyplast Limited. From the management team, we have with us Mr. Ritesh Kichadia, the whole-time director. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
From Avinash Mentor Research, we have Mr. Avinash, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
With that, now I hand over the floor to Avinash, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. So welcome everybody to the virtual investor conclave, which we are having. And friends, today we're going to talk about a company called Captain Polyplast. It's a very old company from Rajkot, and they have been having a very large and a very huge kind of geographical presence in the micro irrigation market. They are also into the renewable, energy servicing kind of, product market. So it will be interesting to talk to you. So Ritesh bhai, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है सर वी आर मीटिंग अगेन बट वील लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम यू व्हाट इज द करंट अपडेट FY27 के लिए व्हाट आर द लाइनअप ऑफ एक्सपेंशन प्लान्स एंड हाउ डू यू सी द मार्केट गोइंग सो सर हैंडिंग ओवर टू यू कैन स्टार्ट
Yes. Thank you, Avinash ji. Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome from my side to all the investors, analysts, and stakeholders who are present on the call today. As many of you would be joining for the first time, I'll take some time to give a brief overview about the company. I'll also discuss a brief our FY26 performance, and then I'll talk about the outlook for FY27 and beyond. So, Captain Polyplast, as many of you would be knowing, is one of India's leading providers of micro irrigation solutions. So, we have nearly 3 decades of experience in delivering innovative irrigation systems to Indian farmers to support them with sustainable agriculture and efficient water management solutions. Over the years, we have steadily expanded our core business of micro irrigation, and at the same time, we have built a strong presence in the fast growing segment, which is solar EPC segment. In that segment, we are primarily present in solar water pumps solutions. So we can say that today our business is well positioned to benefit from two of India's largest structural growth opportunities, which is water conservation and renewable energy. Now, if I talk about micro irrigation, which is the backbone of our company, you would be knowing that the growth of farmers' income is one of the top priorities of the government today. So, as part of that, one of the key priorities for the government is expansion or of coverage under micro irrigation. So, in this segment, we are one of the leading players. We have an extensive dealer network across 17 states in India. We have a very strong brand which is built over almost 3 decades of working in this area, and consequently, we have very strong relationships with farming communities across the country. So, in this segment, along with the traditional approach, which is the subsidy-driven business, in last couple of years, we have also steadily focused on increasing the share of revenue which comes from other segments, which is commercial projects, exports, and non-subsidy business. So in this segment, our key priority is growing this segmental revenue at a steady pace and balancing the revenue mix between the traditional subsidy-based model and the other non-subsidy models. If I talk about the solar EPC business, it has been one of the key growth drivers for us in the last couple of years. If we see FY26, we expanded into PM Kusum project. We received good, healthy orders for solar pumps from multiple states, Maharashtra and Gujarat. And we have also started good execution in that segment. Apart from that, we are also active in the PM Surya Ghar Yojana, where we have presence across multiple states, and we are utilizing our existing channel of micro irrigation dealers to tap opportunity for rooftop solar solutions in tier 2 and tier 3 markets. So, because of our captive dealer network in micro irrigation segment, we see a very we see a very healthy growth opportunity for us in the solar EPC segment. If we talk about the FY26 performance, it was a milestone year for us. We reached both the highest ever annual revenue and EBITDA during FY26. Our total revenue increased by 44% year on year to 420 crores. And also we recorded the highest ever annual EBITDA, which was 46 crores. Apart from the financial progress during the year, there were many key operational progress also during the year. And one of the primary operational highlight was the starting of our new factory at Ahmedabad. So we had undertaken a new capacity building at Ahmedabad around 2 years back. So we are primarily targeting some of the value-added components which are being outsourced right now as part of micro irrigation solutions. So that factory at Ahmedabad is already up and running, which sets up the stage for future growth. So if we talk about FY27, I can say that we have built a very strong base in both the segments, micro irrigation and solar EPC. The policies of the government are also very favorable for both the segments, and we are very confident that we will be able to achieve very positive and strong growth in both the segments in FY27 as well as beyond. So, with these remarks, I would like to open the floor for questions.
Thank you, sir. So, participants, the floor is now open for Q&A session. Kindly raise your hand or you can drop your questions in the chat box.
I think, Ritesh bhai, I will ask the first question. Tell us what is the broad outlook for micro irrigation and the solar business. थोड़ा सा, whatever ground level signals you are getting, Ritesh bhai, वो बताइए कि क्या लग रहा है आने वाला साल कैसा रहेगा for both these businesses and any new products we are planning to launch in the solar basket. We have already launched solar pumps, but उसके अलावा सर कुछ और प्लान करना हमारे प्लानिंग में कुछ है?
Right. So, first on the micro irrigation business, Avinash ji, obviously जो मैंने previously भी आपसे काफी बार discussion किया है, जो penetration है micro irrigation का, it is still at a very low level in India. So definitely growth opportunity is there. And considering कि अभी government का जो focus है, last काफी सालों से जो coverage हो रहा है, that is around 10 lakh hectares per annum. एंड अभी गवर्नमेंट का जो बजट में भी अनाउंसमेंट था, दे आर फोकसिंग फॉर कवरेज ऑफ 20 लाख हेक्टर्स. सो डेफिनेटली देयर इज अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग पुश. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट फार्मर्स में भी अभी काफी अवेयरनेस है, एंड कंसिडरिंग द करंट सिचुएशन विद मॉनसून, we are seeing that there will be water shortages during this year as well. So I think ये सब अगर combine करें तो this means that there will be a very strong demand growth for micro irrigation in the current year. So we are expecting around 20% growth from the micro irrigation business for this year for us. और अगर सोलर ईपीसी में बात करें देन दोनों सेगमेंट, जो सोलर रूफटॉप है एंड द सोलर वाटर पंप्स, दोनों में वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग अ वेरी गुड ग्रोथ. सोलर वाटर पंप्स में हमारे पास ऑलरेडी orders थे. As I said that we got orders for around 2000 pumps in last year. So execution of that work is also ongoing, and there are additional orders which are being lined up. Apart from that, we are also planning to enter PM Kusum project in other states as the opportunity comes up during the year. और जो रूफटॉप सेगमेंट है, as you know, the government is targeting 1 crore households in a very short period of time. So definitely there is scope in that segment as well. So अगर FY26 की बात करें तो solar EPC contribution was around 20% of our overall revenue. मैंने जैसे माइक्रो इरिगेशन को बोला, वी आर प्लानिंग फॉर अ ग्रोथ ऑफ 20%. Solar EPC में growth will be definitely much faster than that. We are expecting that the ratio of overall revenue, it will be at least 30% from solar EPC for this year. So consequently, growth will also be very fast.
Okay. अच्छा रितेश भाई, टेल मी वन थिंग दैट व्हाट इज द ब्रॉड कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर वी आर प्लानिंग। मुझे लगता है नया प्लांट तो अपना चालू हो गया है, तो
Right.
सर कोई बड़ा कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर हम प्लान कर रहे हैं FY 27 के लिए फॉर बोथ सोलर एज वेल एज फॉर माइक्रो, या मोर और लेस इट विल बी रूटीन कैपेक्स?
We have already incurred the capex, Avinash ji. जो अहमदाबाद वाला प्लांट था, we have already incurred capex, majority of that during FY 26. उसमें around 10 crores का capex था. Apart from that, उसमें भी अभी थोड़ा incremental capex होगा to build capacities. And solar EPC में as of now, because we are only doing EPC work, उसमें कोई significant capex नहीं होगा.
बराबर।
उसमें जो investment होगा, that will be in market development.
हम्म, ठीक है। और सर दूसरी बात मेरे को बोलना था कि अभी जो माइक्रो इरिगेशन का मार्केट है, रितेश भाई, टेल अस वन थिंग दैट नॉर्मली वी फाइंड दैट ऑफ कोर्स गवर्नमेंट फंड्स द फार्मर्स, उनको थोड़ा फंडिंग मिलता है, बट अभी अक्रॉस पैन इंडिया व्हाट इज द कलेक्शन साइकिल? अभी कलेक्शन साइकिल का थोड़ा सिनेरियो मुझे काफी लोगों ने बोला अभी बदला है। आई थिंक थिंग्स हैव इम्प्रूव्ड क्वाइट अ बिट फ्रॉम सम टाइम बैक। सो व्हाट इज द सिनेरियो नाउ? इफ यू कुड टेल अस, how quickly are these payments given to the vendors like our companies, because finally it's a long working capital cycle, so इसके बारे में कुछ बताइए।
राइट सो कोई भी स्टेट में अगर हम देखें तो देर इज अ लेंदी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रोसेस. राइट, सो पार्ट ऑफ द डिले इज आल्सो बिकॉज ऑफ द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रोसेस. उसमें काफी स्टेप्स होते हैं जिसको आपको फॉलो करना होता है टू बी एबल टू क्लेम सब्सिडी फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर फार्मर. सो एज एन इंडस्ट्री वी आर वर्किंग ऑन दैट कि हम गवर्नमेंट के साथ कैसे पार्टनर करके जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रोसेस है उसको थोड़ा शॉर्टन एंड ट्रांसपेरेंट बना पाए. And apart from that, the other part is obviously the fund availability. So on that side also, जैसे आपने बोला, definitely things have improved. अगर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट फंड डिसबर्समेंट का बात करें तो since last year they have moved to PFMS system where the funds from the central government are available just in time. जैसे ही उनका अप्रूवल हो जाता है, the states are able to withdraw that funds immediately through a RBI limit. So definitely दोनों side से there is positive improvement and that we are seeing in the payment disbursements as well.
ठीक है, आई थिंक द अदर पार्टिसिपेंट्स कैन ज्वाइन नाउ।
Thank you, sir. So we have a question in the chat box from Miss Dhwani. She is asking, solar EPC has become the primary growth driver. Could you quantify how much of your FY 27 revenue is already backed by executable orders versus expected order inflows?
राइट, सो सोलर ईपीसी में हमारे पास दो सेगमेंट्स है. वन इज सोलर पंप्स एंड द अदर इज सोलर रूफटॉप. सो सोलर पंप्स इज द सेगमेंट वेयर देर इज नो ऑर्डर बेस्ड एग्जीक्यूशन. तो उसमें अगर आप रिसेंट अनाउंसमेंट देखेंगे, वी ऑलरेडी गॉट ऑर्डर फॉर 500 पंप्स फ्रॉम महाराष्ट्र. द वैल्यू ऑफ दैट इज अराउंड 10 crores. Apart from that, we have also participated in a few more tenders. So उसमें से भी new order flow आएगा. So that is for the solar pumps. Solar rooftop है, that is a business which is very short execution time. So उसमें there is no particular order book as such. There is routine business which is accrued and which is executed every month. So जो भी हमारा plan है, that is mostly based on the incoming orders from both the segments.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is, you executed around 1,500 solar pumps in Maharashtra and recently secured another 500 pump order. What is your current executable solar pump order book in terms of value and units?
So the current executable value is the new order which we got, which is 500 pumps. The value of that was around 10 to 11 crores.
Thank you, sir. Next question, please. Participants. So we'll wait for some time. So we have questions in the chat box. The first question is from Ms. Sakshi. She is asking the Ahmedabad plant is now operational. What percentage of outsourced irrigation components will now be manufactured in-house and what cost savings do you expect?
Uh, by the end of this year, almost 50% of the outsourced components would be getting manufactured there. Uh, Obviously, in terms of revenue contribution, it won't be significant because we are mostly replacing the outsourced components. But in terms of margin, there will be significant contribution. We are expecting an improvement of at least 1% in EBITDA for the MIS business uh, for this entire year from this plant.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Mr. Keval. He's asking EBITDA margins declined due to higher polymer prices in March. Have raw material prices normalized in Q1 FY27 and should investors expect margins to recover?
During Q1, the prices have become stable. If we talk about April and May, the prices were stable. They stopped increasing. And from this month onwards, there are signals that the price has started to soften. So we are expecting that the prices should decline materially in the coming quarter, which is Q2. Apart from that, the another factor for the margin is improvement in government prices. So because of this increase in raw material costs, most of the state governments have undertaken price revision. Gujarat has already implemented that price revision, and other states are also in process of doing so. So both of that combined will help us stabilize the EBITDA margin from Q2 onwards.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is, export business has been highlighted as another growth driver. Which international markets are expected to contribute over the next 2 years?
So right now we are primarily focusing on African markets and Latin American markets. We are seeing that these countries are having a similar adoption of micro irrigation like India, and there is also low penetration as of now. So these markets are ripe for business opportunity. So we are focused on those countries, and we are expecting that they should deliver good business for us.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Mr. Yash. He's asking, working capital increased significantly because of higher business volumes. What is your target working capital cycle for FY27?
Working capital is a mix of both the businesses. For the micro irrigation segment, we are expecting that the working capital cycle should be around 6 months. And for the solar EPC business, the rooftop business is not working capital intensive. Whereas the water pumps business, there is a investment of around 3 months for that segment. So on a blended basis, I think it should be around 4 to 5 months for FY27.
Thank you, sir. So his next question is, working capital increased significantly. So the next question is, as solar EPC becomes a larger part of revenue, what do you expect to happen to consolidated EBITDA margins over the next 2 years?
I think the consolidated EBITDA margin would fairly be in this range only. The two major growth drivers, one is micro irrigation and other is solar water pumps. Both are having similar sort of EBITDA margins. On the rooftop side, there is slightly lower margins, but on a blended basis, it should remain around this level only.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Ms. Dhwani. She's asking, beyond Maharashtra, how many additional states do we expect to contribute meaningful solar pump orders during FY27? And what proportion of your growth depends on this new empanelments?
So it would be difficult to highlight which states would open up because still the process is not started in any of these states. But we are expecting that at least four new states should become operational for us in course of this financial year. And in our projections, we have taken a contribution of around 2,000 pumps from these new markets.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is, considering the current order pipeline and policy support, what are the biggest risks that could prevent Captain Polyplast from achieving another year of stronger growth if PM Kusum allocations are delayed or state level tender execution slows? How resilient would your FY27 growth outlook remain?
Obviously, when the business is dependent on the support from the government policies, there could be risk if there is slight delay in that. But as of now, if we see the priorities of both the central government and the state governments, it is clearly for sustainable farming and for renewable energy. So we don't see that any risk in terms of delay for for both these segments from the government side.
Thank you, sir. So our next question is from Mr. Vinod Shah. He's asking, with improving profitability and stronger cash generation, what are your priorities over the next 3 years?
As I said that we have very clear priorities for both the segments. In micro irrigation, we want to have a stable growth, and at the same time, we want to improve our working capital in that segment by diversifying the revenue mix. And on the solar EPC, we want to scale up that business as fast as we could. We are targeting to bring the mix of revenue to 50-50 in next 3 years. So in that segment, we definitely want to grow as fast as the opportunities allow us.
Thank you, sir. Sir, his next question is, beyond cost reduction, what additional revenue capacity does the Ahmedabad plant create over the next 2 to 3 years?
So for the initial 1 or 2 years, incremental revenue contribution would be low. But beyond that, we would be adding more products, both in the traditional micro irrigation components and automation solutions as well. So beyond 2 years, once these new products are developed, there will be good incremental revenue contribution coming from this plant. But that would be 2 years and beyond for these products.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Ms. Dhwani. She's asking, can your existing manufacturing infrastructure support your medium-term growth plans, or would achieving your long-term targets require another round of capacity expansion?
So the current manufacturing capacity is primarily designed for micro irrigation products. And with the current base, we can comfortably achieve revenue of 600 crores from the micro irrigation segment alone. So definitely, whatever growth plans that we have for the next 3 years, they can be achieved from the same set of manufacturing capacity which we have at present.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Ms. Dhwani. She's asking, would you prioritize maintaining healthy return ratios even if it means moderating growth? Or are you comfortable deploying higher capital to accelerate market share gains?
I think at the scale which we are right now, the priority would definitely be growth. Once we reach a stage where we don't find good growth opportunities, at that stage, we would prioritize return ratios instead of growth. But clearly, for a couple of years, the priority would be growth for us.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Mr. Josh. He's asking, could you share your tender win ratio over the last 12 to 18 months? And has the level of competition changed as more players enter the solar pump segment?
So, in the solar segment, whatever tenders which we are participating, they are not a winner takes all. They are essentially an empanelment tender. So, we cannot say that there is a certain win percentage. we get eligible in all the tenders, and we are allocated a certain portion out of the total work. So yes, it is not akin to a tender where the only winner gets the entire work.
Thank you, sir. So next we have Mr. Swapnil Agarwal. Yes, Mr. Swapnil, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, so can we know like how much solar pumps we are expecting to do in this current financial year and on over the next 2 years, according to the, as you have said that we are expecting that some more few additional states to open up for the tender.
So on the full year basis, we are expecting execution of 10,000 pumps, where no, as I said that around 2,000 pumps we are expecting from the new markets, and then 8,000 from the existing market which we are present in. So totally around 10,000 pumps for the entire year.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Mr. Yash. He's asking what percentage of outstanding subsidy receivables are more than 6 months old?
Well, I don't have that figure right now, but once we publish the annual report, that number should be there.
Okay, sir. So the next question is from Ms. Sakshi. She is asking, will export growth primarily come from expanding in your new existing market, or do you plan to enter new geographies? And which products do you see driving export growth, micro irrigation system, components, or solar pumps?
The growth that we are expecting, it will primarily come from new markets. Obviously, from existing market also there will be growth, but the major contribution would come from the new markets. At present, we are only exporting micro irrigation products, and we are still exploring if no, opportunities for the solar pumps also comes up in the existing or new markets.
Thank you, sir. So her next question is, do you intend to establish local distribution partners or subsidiaries in key export markets to strengthen your presence?
The customers which we have, they essentially act as distributors for us. We do not have any equity or joint venture agreements. Our model is purely on a business relationship terms with the customers.
Thank you, sir. Next question, please. Participants.
Ritesh bhai, what is the outlook on the raw material side? Like, हमारा जो भी raw material है, these are all petro-based raw material. So, now crude prices have come down. So, do we expect that this softness will have some marginal impact on our raw material sourcing? थोड़ा बहुत benefit मिलेगा अपने को?
डेफिनेटली बेनिफिट होगा. एज आई सेड कि अप्रैल एंड मई में प्राइस ऑलरेडी स्टेबलाइज हो गए थे, एंड फ्रॉम द करंट मंथ ऑनवर्ड्स दे हैव स्टार्टेड टू सॉफ्टन. तो Q2 we are expecting that if the geopolitical situation stays like this or improves further, तो उसमें material reduction होगा, and definitely that should be beneficial for us.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is, apart from your dealer network, what do you believe is your strongest competitive advantage, execution capability, after sales service, in-house manufacturing, or procurement efficiency?
I think it is a combination. Having a strong distribution network helps us to provide service to our customers, which are primarily farmers, in a timely manner. And apart from that, because of the technology that we have for manufacturing, we are able to ensure that the product which we are offering to the farmers, it is one of the highest quality products available globally. So I think it is a combination of both the service which we are providing to the farmers through our network and the quality product which we are providing to them. It is a combination of these two which helps us win in the market.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Ms. Dhwani. She is asking, what are the top three execution risks that management believes could prevent Captain Polyplast from achieving its long-term growth targets, and what steps are already being taken to mitigate those risks?
I think the primary risk that is there, it is the reduction in policy support for micro irrigation or solar rooftop or solar pumps segment from the government's end. So as I mentioned previously also, we don't foresee any material change in government's policy support for all these three initiatives. I don't think we can plan for that. If there is, if we see signs that it is going to happen, then we would need to plan for that. But as of now, we don't see any change in that policy stance.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Mr. Josh. He's asking, as the company launches its own branded solar pump, do you expect this to improve your competitiveness and margins compared to relying on third-party vendors?
It is no, we have to look at it from both the sides. If we go for in-house manufacturing for solar pumps, we would need to incur significant capex, and also there would be certain time involved in building that capability. So, since we wanted to grow very fast in the solar pump segment, we have relied on no good vendors who are already in the manufacturing of pumps since almost 1 or 2 decades. So we think that if you want to grow fast at the moment, that is a better solution, a better strategy, which is to rely on vendors. Once we reach a sizable scale, we can obviously plan for manufacturing.
Thank you, sir. Next question, please. Participants, next question, please. So we'll wait for some time. Participants, if you have any questions, please raise your hand, or you can drop your questions in the chat box. So we have a question in the chat box from Ms. Dhwani. She is asking, what is the medium-term EBITDA margin range that management believes is sustainable as the revenue mix shift towards solar pumps?
The range that we are targeting is 12 to 13%.
Thank you, sir. So her next question is, as the solar pump business scales, Do you expect competitive pricing to offset some of the margin benefits, or should operating leverage help sustain profitability?
Obviously, as the competition intensifies, there is somewhat reduction in pricing. But also, as we are expecting new markets to open up, we believe that there will be limited competition in these new markets. So that should help offset margin pressure from the existing market. The other factor is also softening in input prices. So in the last year, there was significant correction in solar module prices. So most of the price correction which happened in solar pumps was because of the raw material price reduction. So
Thank you, sir.
once it stops, I think the prices will also stop correcting in the solar pumps.
Thank you. So the next question is from Mr. Josh. He's asking, as Captain branded solar pumps gain traction, do you expect branded products to command structurally higher margins than the current sourcing model?
So, from the day one since we started solar pumps, it has been under Captain brand pumps only, because that is how we have been able to convince the customers to adopt our solution at a much faster pace. So we have always relied on the Captain brand to promote solar pumps. Uh, I don't think that there is a question of margin improvement in that, because most of the pumps, the prices are fixed by the government. So whether it is our pump or somebody else's pump, the prices are same for both of us.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is, would the primary driver of margin expansion be the changing business mix, packed with integration at Ahmedabad, or operating leverage from higher volumes?
It will be a combination of two things. One is operating leverage, and for the micro-irrigation business, it would be the contribution from the Ahmedabad plant. So these two will help us improve the margins.
Thank you, sir. Next question, please.
Ritesh bhai, can you tell us what is the number of customers which we have serviced for the solar EPC segment, specifically rooftop and आपका ये solar pump, क्योंकि ये नया business है, it's growing very rapidly. So in terms of number of customer points, I mean, is it a B2B model or directly customer को आप service करते हो? थोड़ा सा we want to know what is the kind of opportunity available for our company, in the next say 2 to 3 years.
So, rooftop and water pumps both are B2C segments, because ultimately we are servicing the customer directly. In the rooftop segment, if we see the last year, we would have serviced around 5,000 customers. So we would have installed system on rooftops of 5,000 customers.
Correct. और ये जो कुसुम का जो ऑर्डर है सोलर पंप्स का, सर इसमें क्या टेंडरिंग सिस्टम होता है कि एक पर्टिकुलर टेंडर ओपन होता है एंड देन अ सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ क्वांटिटी इज एलोकेटेड टू यू एंड देन द गवर्नमेंट टेक्स इट एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट्स इट, और यू डायरेक्टली एंश्योर दैट यू सेल द पंप टू द फार्मर एंड इवन द सर्विसिंग, द मेंटेनेंस, उसका जो इंस्टॉलेशन है वो भी सब आप करते हो?
It is a tender-based process, which is primarily for price discovery. So once the prices are discovered, all the vendors are supposed to work at the same price, and we are allocated the quantity basis our previous execution. So अगर आप हमारा भी order flow देखेंगे, the first order which we got was for 200 pumps. After that, steadily the new orders became larger. So जैसे execution हम लोग fast करते जाएंगे, we are eligible for a larger order in future tenders.
Okay.
And our responsibility is for whatever quota we are allocated. The farmer has to select our name on the vendor portal, and once they do that, we execute the entire installation and post-sale service for that farmer.
और सर अपनी कितनी कैपेसिटी होगी सोलर पंप्स, अगर मान के चलो अपने को बड़ा ऑर्डर मिलता है, होपफुली इन द फ्रेश टेंडरिंग, Sir, what is the capacity currently where we can, ensure that we can service a large, solar pump order? तो मोटा मोटी install capacity कितनी होगी अपनी?
अविनाश जी, बिकॉज वी आर डूइंग ईपीसी वर्क, प्राइमरली जो हमारा इसमें बॉटलनेक रहता है दैट इज ऑन द एग्जीक्यूशन साइड, ऑन द इंस्टॉलेशन साइड, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. सो हमारे जो वेंडर्स है दे हैव वेरी लार्ज कैपेसिटी, सो दैट इज नॉट अ कंस्ट्रेंट. द ओनली कंस्ट्रेंट इज कि हम कितना फास्ट फार्मर्स के साइड पे इंस्टॉलेशन कर सकते हैं. सो एज ऑफ नाउ द मैक्सिमम विच वी कैन डू इज अराउंड 200 pumps per day. So टीम ऑलरेडी हमारे पास सेटअप है. इफ वी गेट द ऑर्डर्स देन वी कैन डू नो वेरी फास्ट
तो मोटा
एग्जीक्यूशन.
मोटी ये समझ के लेते हैं कि बेसिकली आपका जो मेरे ख्याल से जो बिजनेस मॉडल है इट इज एसेट लाइट. यू आर बेसिकली गेटिंग वेंडर्स टू मैन्युफैक्चर
Yes.
फॉर यू एंड यू आर बेसिकली इन्वॉल्व इन द ईपीसी साइड. सर, हम कितने वेंडर्स के साथ अभी करंटली काम कर रहे हैं?
फॉर द पंप्स, जो पंप मोटर कंट्रोलर का जो कॉम्बिनेशन है दैट वी आर रिलाइंग ऑन 3 vendors.
Okay.
एंड जो दूसरा मेजर कंपोनेंट है दैट इज सोलर मॉड्यूल्स.
Okay.
So in modules we have multiple vendors.
Okay.
We are working with almost 6 to 7 vendors for that.
ठीक.
Thank you, sir. Next question, please. Sir, I think we have covered most of the majority questions. So if there are no further questions, can we conclude the session, sir?
Yes, sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Ritesh, sir. Thank you, Avinash, sir. Thank you, other participants, for your time and participation. If there are any further questions, you can reach out to us at corporateaccess@kirinadvisors.com. Thank you, Avinash, sir. Thank you, Ritesh, sir.
Ritesh bhai, thank you for the time.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.